Well, Trump is also now on the cover of Time magazine. The cover story's title, Deal With It. And I love it. But right now, I'm going to urge everyone to do more than just deal with it. Embrace it. Enjoy it while it lasts, because this whole situation is teaching us so much more about the current state of our political system. Today, I read a blog post from a guy named Alan Kelly, who runs a communication strategy and consulting firm called Playmaker Systems. Kelly's MO is to break down every political move and describe it kind of like a scam run by a grifter or a play an offensive side of a football team runs. They all have catchy names like the Call-Out or the Peacock, both of which Trump is an expert at. Kelly also gives the best explanation of the Trump phenomenon I have read thus far, and I quote here, "He is more a muse and a teaching prop for the American electorate than my perfect POTUS. He's up there with Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, and Sir Richard Branson for his ability to manage media and change minds. And his plays are conspicuously similar to insurgents and activists like ISIS, Greenpeace, and PETA. A consultant who calls himself a reputation doctor lectured me recently about Trump's hollow soul and his need for more virtuous things. Trust, honesty, humility, transparency, accountability, and consistency were his prescriptions. But polls are better than Boy Scout laws. And by the numbers, it's clear that Donald's reputation needs no rehabilitation. What we have in Donald Trump is a showman extraordinaire whose plays, while clownish, break through the clutter to teach us that everything is fungible, everything is negotiable, and that our national predicaments might be corrected through better business practice. It's less a disease than a dialogue, and one worth having. For me, what was most interesting about yesterday's competing Jeb and Trump town halls was that really for the first time, Trump was able to force Bush to do something that he clearly never wanted to do in this race or never even imagined he'd have to do, and that's get down in the mud with Trump and take him on directly in a political theater of war like New Hampshire. Bush actually said he doesn't find the term anchor babies offensive yesterday. Now, that's a long way from his act of love comment about illegal immigration. And by doing that, Jeb has now started to alienate Trump's supporters in a much more direct way. Still, Trump clearly won the day in terms of optics, crowd size, and messaging. I do believe Trump can win the GOP nomination, but I don't think the GOP will let him. Our current political system is still run from Washington, D.C., by D.C. insiders, for D.C. insiders. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be talking about 2016 candidates named Bush and Clinton, just like we were in 1992 and in 2008. So soak in the Trumpism, enjoy it, but most importantly, learn from it while it lasts. So if or when Trump rides off into the sunset, we can all make a better choice at the ballot box. And like Kelly says in that blog post, succumb to the Trumpism. It's just business. Miranda?
Nicely played. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I am enjoying. I think a lot of people, whether you're going to vote for him or not, enjoy Trump being in the race. He is bringing a lot of attention. I mean, that debate, 24 million viewers. That's like the biggest crowd viewership that for a Don Sporting events in history.
Yeah, they're tuning in, obviously. He's not going anywhere. He said so himself yesterday in New Hampshire. And, you know, I'm not saying he's going to be the nominee. I do think he has a very good chance and a much better chance than anybody has given him up until this point. I do think that he's going to benefit the GOP as a whole. But I think Ted Cruz is the person, if Trump does get out of the race, who's going to benefit the most.
All right, we'll have to see.